Today we are going to discuss about how to format the workbook, how to format text numbers, how to format the visualizations and all. So this is very important. Why? Because once you prepare any worksheets or dashboards, so it is very important to format the dashboard as well. So in every organization, there will be certain rules and regulations. They follow certain color formattings. They follow certain standard rules and also whenever you go into the organization, so they will let you know what kind of format needs to be used and what kind of colors needs to be used. So they will let you know about all those information. So according to that, you have to change your visualization. So let's start. So basically, I'm just connecting to the sample superstore data source only. So let's try doing the formatting changes. So in formatting, so you have to go to the yeah, sure. So in formatting, basically we just take so these are the 5 points which we have: font, alignment, shading, borders, and lines. So with this five, we are able to format all the changes. So with the font, we can change the font formatting, and alignment we can align the names and sales values and the measure values. And shading, we can color the background colors, and borders we can keep the borders to the worksheets, and line to line if you want to keep any lines, so we can make those changes by lines. So now let's start with some dashboard. So I'm just dragging, so I'll just create one sample data. So I'll take subcategory sales. Is it better now? One second. Okay, so here I'm doing subcategory wise sales, and I will also take category. So we're gonna do the formatting changes. So let's see one by one. So here we have these 5 options. So let's start with font. So I'll click on font. So instead of taking category, let me take product, or let me take order date. Okay, so this is 2020 subcategory details, and 2021, 2022, and 2023. So let's go to font. So if you want to make the changes at sheet level, so this is the one. So for every, so you can see all the 5 options here. So font, alignment, shading, borders, lines, you can see here also. For every formatting changes, you can see sheet, rows, columns. So you can do the formatting based on sheet, rows, and columns. So now let's start with sheet. So this will be same across all the fonts. So here, the only change is the type of font. So the type of formatting change. So here we are trying to change the font, and the formatting changes will be similar for sheets, rows, and columns. So now let's check for font. So here we have worksheet. So basically, if you change for worksheet, entire worksheet will get changed. So let's try. So if I make it bold, so entire worksheet is getting bold. If I make it italic, So you can see the entire worksheet values, all the values are getting changed. If I make underline, you can see all the values are getting changed. So basically, if you want to change, or if you want to make any font change to all the values in the worksheet, then we can make use of this option. Or if you want to increase the font, so it will increase for everything. So like this, you can make the changes and remove italic and underline. And not only that, so this is the Tableau book font. And even when you see in the Microsoft Word or any other Microsoft tool, so you can see different fonts in your Microsoft tools. So now let's see if I change it to some different font. So I can see it like this. So depending on your data requirement, so you can make the changes. So in organization, they will also tell you which font to be used. So depending on your requirement, you can make use of it. So by default, Tableau will provide you Tableau book. Okay, sometimes what happens is, so user want to color only this specific part, and user does not, or user want to change only the font for this one, and user does not want to change for the selected ones or the numbers. So then it will be different. So for pane, if you want to change specifically, so you can click on pane, only this pane values. So only this thing will change. Pane meaning this, we have discussed in the earlier classes. So the pane meaning when you have two different dimensions, so you will get a box over there. So that you call it as a pane. But according to this formatting changes, so they call this entire thing. Wherever you see the values, apart from dimensions, wherever you see the values, that is called as a pane. So if I change this, so it is only impacting only in this place. So you can observe that. So even if I make underline, so it is getting applied only to this part. So specifically, if you want to make some changes only to this part, you can do that. So that is about pane. So now let's see header. So if I want to make changes for the headers, so these are called headers. So let me just take it down. So you have to remember these things, which is called as an header and which is called as an pane and which is called as row header and column header. So now I'll just make a clear note. So this part is called as pane. So if you know these things, formatting will be very easy. You just need to do the formatting accordingly. This is called as pane. And these two are called as the above ones. These are called as headers. And this is also called as header. Okay, so you can specifically color, or you can change the formatting for pane separately and header separately. So now I want to make changes only to the headers. So then what will I do? So I will just select these things. So if I make it to italic, only this will get changed. If I underline it, only the headers, even this is also a header. So this will also be considered as a header. So if you want to make separately changes for headers separately, and so even when we create any table structure, so in Excel, let's say have some data. So let's say employee and salary. Raju, Sanjay. So they have some $10,000 of salary, and this person has $25,000 of salary. So what I want to do, I want to make some borders. So in Excel, what will I do? I'll just make some borders, and I want to make this headers bold so that it looks neat and clean. Okay, so that it looks like a table. So in that way, so if you want to make some editings, so let me do similar thing for that. So I'll just make, and I want to increase, I just want to highlight these categories. I mean, so these are the values, right? So values can be smaller than compared to the headers. So that way you can highlight it. So that is how you can format the changes and tooltip. And when you hover on this, so you can see one tooltip. The box that you see over there, which shows subcategory accessories, year of order date, 2020 sales, $25,014. So that is called as a tooltip. So you can change the font of that particular tooltip as well. So you can change it to, let's make it underlined so that it will be visible for you. So you can see it is underlined. The tooltip that you see, inside that tooltip, the formatting has been changed. So that way we can make changes to the tooltips as well. And we also have title for this. So I have written as formatting. So I want to format this title also. So I'll keep it bold, make it italic. I can underline if I want, I can change the color. So all the changes I can make it. So if I want to use a different font, so I can use it. So that way we can make changes, and this is for total, and there is one grand total. So I will show you how to show the total. So we have 2020 sales and 2021, 2022 like this. I want to see the total. So go to analysis, go to show column grand totals. So you can see the totals over here. So if you want to format these things, see this is the normal values and this is the total. So total I want to see somewhat bigger than the normal values. So what I will do is I'll just select bold so that it looks bold or underline. Like this, I just want to highlight the total values, and the normal values, it will be normal only. So that way I can just separate these things. Yeah. And if you want to format this header, so you can format that. So if I put underline, I can see the underline over there. So I'm just showing you this, how to use this functionality. So design wise, it has to be neat and clean like this. So you have to make something which looks neat and clean. So, and there is one grand total. So I will also put grand total. So row grand totals. Yeah. So this is also total, which is actually showing you the total. So let's try changing it here. So if you see, you can see the changes here. It is also coming for this one. So now let's remove. So it is showing the, so in this case, total and grand total is same. So I will just show you one classic example. So let's take category, subcategory, sales, and analysis, go to totals. So column grand totals, analysis, totals, add all subtotals. So basically for furniture, this is the total. And for office supplies, this is the total. And here we have a grand total. So now if I want to do any formatting changes, font. So for total, it is different. The formatting for total, it is different. The formatting for grand total will be different. So let's say If I want to do only for these totals, then I will select underline. If I select, so it will select for all the totals. And when I remove this, and here if I select only underline, so that will be applied only to the grand total. Okay, so that means it is not applying to the totals. So only for grand total. Grand total meaning that sum of these three, which is the grand total. So that way it is applying. So that way it is applying the formatting changes. So let's keep this example as well. So formatting, second part, I would say. Okay, so that way we have completed sheet. So sheet level, if you want to do at an overall level, so you can use worksheet. So if you change it for the worksheet, for the entire worksheet, it will change. Let me remove this analysis. Okay, so here you can see if I want to bold for the entire thing, it will be applied for all. Yeah, I think it is slow somewhat. So usually it should get applied. Okay, let me recreate this. So let's take category. And let's take sales and click on format and click on font. So if I go change here to bold, so it will change for everything. And if I change it to italic or underline, it will change for the entire worksheet. Or if you want to separately do the changes, so you can do at a pen level. Or if you only want to do for the headers, then you can do for headers itself. And when you hover on any particular data point, it will show you a tooltip. So if you want to do the formatting changes, so all these changes you can do. So hover on it, you can see that coming. So this is the process to create or to make changes at worksheet level. So now let's discuss about row level and column level. So, so there will be row headers. So if you only want to specifically do the changes only for the row headers. So these are called as row headers. Why? Because these are in row level. So if you go into the paint, so these are called as row headers. Why? Because these are in row level. And these are called as column headers. Column headers. So if I want to change specifically only for the row headers, then I will go to the rows and I'll change it here. If I want to make the color changes, so I'll do it here. And totals also. So row wise, if you have any totals, so it will do the total changes, row grand totals. So let's click analysis. click on column grand totals. Yeah, so now you make the change, make it italic or on, yeah, remove the underline, remove the bold. So only this row level values are getting changed. So row level total, if you want to bold it or if you want to change anything, so like this, you can change it. But if you want this column totals to be changed, then you should go to here and here you can apply. So specific, like this part can be formatted using this rows header, and this part can be, the total part can be formatted using rows pane and rows header. So total header is this one. And grand total also, when we have discussed about grand total. So basically, so if you want to format specifically for the grand total, so this is the option. So if I make the changes for the color, so you can see that color is getting changed over here as well. Okay, so now let's go back. So that is at row level. So now let's discuss about column level. Okay, so now I'm going to columns. So column header is this one. So if I want to make only change to this one, so I'll just click on this. If I make bold, only this part will become bold, italic, or make change to underline. So this entire thing is getting changed. So this will also be considered as a column header as well. Are you all able to hear me? Okay. Okay. Yeah. Thank you. Okay. So basically, yeah, Sagar, you can rejoin if required, if you are not able to hear. So that is about the formatting changes. So row level we have done. So row level is basically, if you want to specifically change the formatting for this one, there you can use this one. And column headers. So if you want to make the changes for the column header, so this is called as column header. So there you can change it. Yeah. And totals. So when you show the totals like this, row grand total. So this is now become a column. So if you want to specifically change the formatting for this one, then you can make use of this. There it will change the total formatting. So this is for column total. So you want to make the changes for the column total, you should do it in the column level only. And row total, if you want to change, so go to analysis, totals, column grand totals. So this will be in the row grand total. So if you want to make change, you can use this. So in Tableau, we have a lot of options where you can uh, format each and every data point. So this can be changed and this can be changed, and grand total can be changed, and row grand totals can be in one formatting, column grand totals can be in one formatting. So depending on the requirement, you can make use of these things. The final agenda is to show the look and feel of the dashboard needs to be good. Even if you prepare like this, people will understand the data, but that has to be neat and clean. And organization will follow some certain rules. So most of the organizations may use or Arial formatting. So they want you to use Arial format for all the dashboards. Then you should choose this, and they want all the totals to be bold. So then you can use total to be bold, even the columns totals to be bold. So then you can make use of these things so that it looks neat and clean. Now I want to uh, set the borders. I mean, the headers also needs to be bold. So I'll just keep it bold. And I want this also to be bold. So I'll go column header and click on. So right click on this. Sometimes if you are not able to format that part, so right click on that and you can change it. Yeah. So here there is an option called corner. So usually these are called as, so this is row header and this is column header, and this is not been considered as a row header or a column header. This is considered as a corner. So if you want to specifically format this one, just right click on that and click on format and then select corner and you can format that. So this way it looks neat and clean. So this is about font. So as there are 5 types of things, for all the 5 types, we have sheets, rows, columns. These are common for all the 5 types. So 5 types are font, alignment, shading, borders, and lines. So we have completed font. So now let's move on to the alignment. For all this, we need to remember what is called as pane, what is header, and what is row header, column header, corner, and total, grand total. So if you know these concepts or these fields in the data, so if you understand what is pane, what is header, what is row header, column header, so it is easy for us to do the formatting changes. So if you want to specifically do the pane changes, so go to the font and select specifically pane, and you need to observe what is getting changed. So if you want to specifically change for this one, so then you should go to the formatting, font, go to sheet. So change it in the pane itself. Only this will change. Okay, only this entire thing will get changed. So this entire thing is called as pane, but you can color separate. I mean, you can make the formatting changes for this column separately and this row separately. And this also you can make the separate changes. So this way, for every individual point, we can make the changes. So you can right click on this. Even you can right click on this and make the changes. Click on this. Yeah. So I have removed underline for this one. So like you can do separate formatting for this and separate formatting for this and this. So we need to understand the concept of these ones. So what is pane, header, row header, column header? So we need to understand this to make use of all the formatting changes. So now let's do for others. So now I'm just removing the formatting changes. Okay, so now let's go to the alignment. So I'm just clicking on this. So here also I can see sheets, rows, columns. So I can do the formatting changes for sheets, rows, and columns. So click on pane. Yeah. So alignment is basically if you want to align left or right or middle or top or bottom or in the center, or you can change the letters to turn around like 90 degrees or 180 degrees. Like that you can turn the letters as well. So now let's see one by one. So pane, as we discussed, so this is called as pane. So if you want to specifically change the font for this one, so just click on this. So if you do center, so all the letters will be in the center. If you want to do left align, so all the pane values will be in the left align. Click on right align, you can see the changes coming. So this is left, right, and center. And here we have top, bottom, and center. It will move little bit towards top, little bit towards bottom, or if you want to keep it in the center, you can keep it. like this. And wrap is something, so I'll just show you in Excel. So let's say I have some letter, Indian Institute College. So you can see I have typed Indian Institute, but I don't see that name completely until unless I click on this. So in Excel, there is an option called wrap text. So it will use this, or it will try to show the entire name in the particular cell. So if I click on this wrap text, so it will make use of the space and it will try to show the entire name. So that option is also available in the Tableau as well. So if you have some big names, so here you can type any big name, Indian Institute of Technology. So this size will be automatically adjusted accordingly. Okay. So even if you have some lengthy name also, if you do the wrap text, so it will adjust the size accordingly depending on your length of the name. So that will also happen in the case of Tableau as well. So that is what is wrap. So now let's do this direction change. So if I make, this is normal, this is the normal 180 degrees way. And if you do 90 degrees, you can see 90 degrees, those letters were aligned. So this will also be some places it will be used. Some requirements you will get where you need to show the data in the vertical way. So you have to turn the letters into 90 degrees. And it's the other way around. So from here it will be 180 degrees. So it will be like this, towards downwards. So these letters are towards upwards and these letters are towards downwards. So where it is changing only at the pane level. Why? Because it is there is an option called pane. I'm just changing it over here. So as we discussed earlier, this is what is pane. This black border one is pane. So I'm just making changes in the pane level. So it is changing on the pane level itself. So if you know what is pane, then it is easy for us to do the formatting changes for pane. And try to keep wrap on all the time. Okay, in automatic it will be on all the time, but try to keep it is on. So let me do off first of all, so that I will make you understand what is it. So now let's try making it on. Okay, I'll just show you for this subcategory and all. So it is actually for the names, so not for the measures. So let's see. So if I make for headers, yeah. So let me do the off. Okay. So if I off this, so you can see accessories name is not completely coming over here. Okay, even appliances. So the names are bigger. So if I choose on, so it will make use of the place over there. So you can see the complete names. So this way you can make use of wrap. So as we discussed earlier, so if you know the concept of what is pane and what is row header, what is column header, then it is easy for us to align. So I'm just making the alignment changes here. So for this, if I want to make the alignment changes, I will use this. So it is the same for headers as well. So all the options that I have seen for pane, so left alignment, right alignment, up and down alignment, so direction change, the wrap change. So all these options will be similar for all the headers, panes, column headers. For all this, it is same. So just that you need to know where you want to apply. So for header, I want to apply wrap on, and total. So I'll just show total. So let's go to analysis, show total. So if I want to make changes for totals, yeah, so I'll just drag this. So you can see I have just changed the direction of the total. Yeah. So I have just changed the direction of the total. So if I want to do like this, I can do that. So this way I can make the changes. So I'm just telling you that we can rotate the letters as well. So depending on the requirement, you can make use of these things. And grand total. So as we discussed earlier, so if you have grand total, when you have subcategory and all, we can use that. And now let's discuss about rows and columns level. So let's do changes. Center aligned. So it is getting changed only for this row headers. So as we discussed here, these are called row headers. Alignment changes are happening only at the row level. So if I want to keep in the top, I can keep it. If I want to keep bottom, so it is bottom of the box. Let's assume this is a box for the appliances, or this is a row for appliances. In that row, it will be in the bottom. Or if I want to keep it in the center, I can keep it. So that is the alignment changes that we can do. So same operations will be available in this Excel as well. So if you do this, let's take, so if I take my name, so if I want to center align, so it will be in the center. Or if I want to align top, bottom, left align, right align, center align. So this way, same options also are provided in Tableau. So that depending on your requirement, you can use up that. So that is for rows. Now let's go for columns. So column header is this one. So now if I change this to this one, only this one is changing. Or if you specifically want to change for this one, click on format. So click on alignment. So corner, you have to select the corner. So if you rotate this, only this one is rotating. So there is a separate formatting for this corner. So it is written as corner. Okay, and totals and everything is similar as we discussed for the previous one. Okay, so let me ask you a few questions. So Priyanka, can you tell me? So I'll just start with the shading. So if I make use of worksheet, so if I change any color for the worksheet, so what will get changed? Yeah, if I select any color, so shading meaning, yeah, will it be applied to the entire worksheet, or will it be applied to this pane or to the row? So it will apply for the entire worksheet. Yeah. So let's say if I've colored this to this one, so entire for entire worksheet is it is getting applied. I'll tell you about this band size, why this color is coming in the middle. Okay. So Nazrin, can you tell me what if I use this pane? So which one will get colored? Which part will get colored? Okay, only this part will get colored, the values part. So let me make this change. Okay, so when I color this, so here you can clearly understand that this is called as, to understand what is pane, what is header, and what is worksheet. So you can clearly understand here. So when I colored this worksheet, so entire worksheet is getting color. And when I'm using this pane, so only this part is getting color. So here you can clearly understand what is pane. So this is called as pane. And if I change it to other color, you can see the difference. Okay, so Ashwant, can you tell me where it will change if I apply color in the header? So where it will change? Which part it will be color? Which one? Yeah, so not only year values, so this is also headers, that is correct. And this is also headers. Yeah, if I change this, so it will, so all this will be colored. Perfect. Thank you. And Rakib, can you tell me? So if I go into rows, so if I go into rows and if I change it here, so if I go into rows and if I change it here, which one will be colored? This one or this one? So have we discussed what is row header? So if you know what is row header, yeah, only this, yeah, this will get colored. Yes, perfect. So we have to know what is row header. So then only we'll get to know. So let's say if you want to color this part, so you should know what it is. So if you know it as a row header, then you will directly go to this shading and go to rows and select row headers. Perfect. Roger, can you tell me what will be colored if I select, if I go to columns and if I select color in the header, what will be colored? Yes, perfect. So this is called as the column header. So that will get colored. So if you want to make the changes for subcategory, so you have to separately format this. So that is called as corner. So as we discussed earlier, that is called as corner. So if you want to put the shading for that, you can select here. So that doesn't belong to column header or row header. So that is in corner. Perfect. Thank you. So with Sagar, can you tell me, so if I want to make the changes for shading, so do I have to do it in the rows or in the columns? Yes, grand total. Hmm. Yeah, yeah. So here you can make use of this grand total and you can color this. Only this will get colored. And in the columns, if you want to see, so you have to have the total of this one as well. So put the total, so row grand totals as well. So if you want to put the shading for this one, so you have, this is a column. So you have to go into columns and there you can change the colors. So here you can apply. So this way, so we can apply for this column header separately, row header separately, row total separately, and column total separately, and this pane separately. So this way, if we know what is row header, pane, column header, and row totals and column totals, then we can easily format any worksheet. Okay, so that is about shading. So I'll tell you in shading there is one more option. So in other formats we don't see that option. So I'll just show you what is that other new option. Yeah. So let's say if I make a color. So if I select for the worksheet, if I select some color, so it is coming same color for across all the worksheet. So sometimes we want to, so let's say we might miss some of the data. So if you're seeing the data in such a way, so you don't find any difference between row to row. So sometimes what users want is they want to see this row in one color and the other row in a different color, so that you can find the difference between row to row. So for that they have given an option called band. So if you put the band level as 1, so you can see the color is changing for row to row. One row to other row, you can see one color. So this, the light pink color which I have applied, that I have applied for the entire worksheet. And you can select the second color what you want to be. So here you can select the second color. So this way, and this is for pane and header. If you want to change, you can change it here. So this way, row to row, you can have different colors. So not only you can color the entire thing, or not only you can color the entire pane or entire headers and all, by row to row also you can have different colors. And if you make the size as 2, for every 2 rows, it will be different color. So you can have 2 rows, one color, and other 2 rows can have different color. Like that, you have, if you put it in the 3 level, you have three rows to 3 rows, 4 rows to 4 rows, 5 rows to 5 rows. Like this, you can increase the size. So it is better you keep a size of 1 so that people will be able to easily understand the difference. So this is one row and this is the other row. And they can see this is the information for accessories. So when you have lot of data, so it is hard for them to understand which row belongs to which. So to understand this, so they will color each row separately. So for that, we can make use of this band. So this option is only available only in shading. Apart from this, everything is same. And we also have column banding. So it is also similar. So row banding is row to row. It is just coloring the rows. And if you want to color column to column, then you can color differently. So column to column, if you want to make different color. Yeah. So this way, column to column, you can see a different color. If you want to two colors, three, same, similar to what we have seen, as we don't have any other columns. So 4 it is doing. So but we don't have extra columns, so it is not showing. So it is actually the same, but it is column wise. So if you want to put this different colors, then you can choose the size as 1. So it is easy for the users to understand the shading. So that is about how to use shading. So this is the only difference which it has. So now let's go back to the borders. Okay, so let's make use of this one. So now let's go to borders. The borders, if you want to put any borders. So if you want for the entire sheet, if you want to put borders. So in Excel also, I have done some borders. If you go into this, so I have used these borders. So here I am selecting, instead of, I just want to keep borders only for the outside. So I'll remove the borders first, no border. So this will look like this. Sometimes it looks good with the borders. So I'll just put thick box borders. Or otherwise I want to show like this. So same in Excel, whatever borders options that are available. In Tableau also we have that option. Yeah, so for every formatting changes, we will have sheets, rows, and columns. We need to understand what is pane, what is header, what is column header, what is row header, what is this corner. So if you know all those things, we can do this thing. But in borders, we have one more option, which is cell. So if you want to highlight for the cell, then you can make use of this. Yeah, so cell is nothing but then each and every data point. So these are called data points. Each and every data point is called a cell. So this way you can border only these cells. And now let's do pane. So pane, as we discussed earlier, this entire thing is called pane. Okay, so for entire pane, it is giving border. So cell is different. Cell is bordering the each and every data point. So if you select cell, so cell is bordering each and every data point. And when you select pane, for entire pane, you are getting a border. And here you can select if you want dotted line or if you want thick borders, that you can select. So this is how you can put the headers for, to put the borders for the pane. And now let's see for header. So these are the headers as we discussed earlier. So these are the headers, this entire thing. So column headers and row headers, everything is getting occupied. So this is what. So here it is not separating anything. So if you want to separately for rows, so then you can select rows like this. And for totals, grand totals also we can do. And there is a row divider concept here. So let's put that. Anytime that row is getting divided, then they will give a line like this. So row is starting here, so it is giving a divider. And when there is a total also, you can see the row is getting divided. Yeah. So if you want to show the difference, so these are my actual values and this is the total. And I want to keep borders for totals. So here I can keep it. And I want to keep borders for headers. So like this, I can make the changes. So this way we can make use of these borders and we can make as per our requirement. And row divider. The row divider is basically depending on the size itself. So let's say initially it will be border to border. So subcategory, this is one row divider. And whenever you are getting total, that is one row divider. But if you increase the level, then the row divider concept will increase. So let me put some colors. So if I increase the level, every row will be considered. So every row will be considered and you can see the different borders. And if you want to keep the column dividers, we can also keep the column dividers. So initially this will be considered the subcategory, and whenever something new starts, there you can see the borders. And when I increase the level, for every column, I can see the borders. So this way we can make the borders. And let's go here. So let's keep borders like this. So this is how you can design with the borders. So if you want to share something to the users, and you can keep these type of borders and make it look good. And let's go to, so I'll just remove everything so that it is easy for us to, yeah. So I'll go to columns. So now I'll put headers. So I'm only the column headers are getting selected. None. So if I select here, so only the column pane is getting selected. Or if I want to make the changes, all the cells will get selected. So column wise cell is nothing but this column is will get selected. Row wise cell is nothing but, so let's go to row. Row wise if I select cell, so this will get cell. I mean this part will get the border. And column wise cell if I select, so you can see each and every cell. So row wise if you select the cell and column wise you select the cell, so you will get vertical lines and the horizontal lines. Combining together you will get like a table like structure. Otherwise if you select in the sheet itself, directly you can see the borders. So for the entire sheet, all the cells will be selected. So that is about column cells. So let's go to pane. Column wise, this is the pane. Row wise, this is the pane. In any ways, this is the pane. So row wise, it will just take the row borders, and column wise, it will take the column border. Meaning for the entire pane. So let's take this as a pane. So it is just giving you the borders of this one. So when you select in the sheet as a pane, the entire thing is getting, so the values above this, only these are getting colored. And when you say row pane, only the row line is coming. And when you say column, only the column lines are coming. If you want a combination, then you can select this. Yeah, so this way we can do the formatting changes. So let's continue tomorrow. So tomorrow we'll discuss about borders and lines. So borders we have to continue more, and lines also we'll discuss what all lines we can keep in the worksheet. So any questions in today's session? Okay. Hmm. Hmm. So this, I mean, column wise, this is the pane, column wise pane, and column header is this one. So if you want to, yeah, header be show correct. Or you want to specifically do only for pane, then you can color the pane as. So here, even if we increase the levels, we are not able to see it. Why? Because we have only 4 columns. So that is why we are not able to see it. Okay. Is it clear? Okay. Okay, then thank you all for joining. We'll continue tomorrow. Thank you.